Okay, in this video I'm going to show how you can do a HUD that has multiple pages on it, and here's one that I've pretty much already finished, and I'll just show you the finished product and show you how it works. So here's the HUD that we had before that can still change textures and everything, still has all the same buttons on it and everything, and it also has some tabs up here on the top, and clicking this tab takes you to a different page. It has different contents here. These are static down here, so they stay here. And that's how you do it. So let's take a look at how this is actually built. One quick thing to notice is that there's no minimize button. For a multi-page HUD, I don't support having a minimize button on it. The reason is that the rotation can be a nightmare, and it's just not worth it to get that working, because lining up the prims so that the rotation happens correctly is difficult, and so it's just easier not to have a minimize button. So that doesn't work currently. So you either have a multi-page HUD or you have a minimize button, and that's the way that is. So let's detach this. Let's res this thing out and take a look at what I did. So the main difference, let's see, edit, and I'm going to also turn on show transparent. One of the main differences is that now the HUD has to be the same distance, the same size on every side. So previously we had this size, and the depth of it was quite shallow, but now each of the sides needs to be the same size. And what happens is the HUD, I'm gonna just do this all with camera instead of rotating it. The HUD now has the bottom as the first page, and what you'll see here is that the texture that I made is really the same as the texture on top for the parts that are the same, and just changes the parts that need to be changed. So in other words, the buttons here, if I'll turn these off, the buttons images are all the same. The only thing that's different on this texture is, all the stuff in the middle that you want to change. Also, I made the tabs show this one as selected, show the utilities tab as selected instead of the textures tab. So it's really the same. So what's going to happen is the first page is going to show this way when you first create the HUD, which is the red arrow facing away from you, the green arrow to the left, and the blue arrow up. The second page that it will show is on the bottom. The third page that it will show is on the back. And the fourth page that it will show would be on the top. Now I'm only using 2 pages here, but that's the order that it will rotate in. So what you're actually seeing here is, let's see if this will work here. So if you're on page 1, which I'll show you how to specify that. If you're on page 1, the Y rotation is 0. If you go to page 2, the Y rotation is going to be 90. So it just rotated in that direction. I should probably do it like this, that way you'll see it a little bit better. So 0 is the first one. '90 is the next page. 180 will be the next page, and 270 will be the next page. Now you don't have to know those numbers. You just have to texture each sides of it. This one other change that's important here is that this texture goes straight on the face. This texture, however, on the bottom had to be rotated 90 degrees. If it's just at 0, you'll see it like this. This is just the way prims work, so you just rotate the texture until it looks right, and the HUD itself will rotate correctly. So what I did here, the way to make this work is I have these buttons here, which, let's turn off select face and edit linked. These buttons here are called page. So you put page as the name of it, and you say what page number you want to show when you click that button. So this is page 1, and this is page 2. And you'll notice the same thing has to happen on the bottom where this one is going to be page 1 and this one is going to be page 2. And you'll also notice that all of these buttons here, the home page, the website button with the address, has to be duplicated as well. So all the buttons that you want to stay the same need to be duplicated for the new side. But if you don't have any duplicates, then of course you don't need to do that. But you will always need to do some way to get the page to change, and that's by making a page button, putting a page number in the description, and whether or not you want page 3 to be able to go back to page 1, or if you want to, it's all up to you how you design it. But a button named page having a number in it will turn the HUD to that page, and that's how that works.